기자부대, hop on the beat!
Last year marked the 35th anniversary celebration for the JoJo series. Along with that came a huge amount of content starting in late 2021 and continuing all the way up to last month. These included new adaptations like the anime and new TV drama seasons, new spin-off manga like Crazy Diamond's Demonic Heartbreak, new Araki one-shots in the form of Rohan chapters, and the debut of a new biannual JoJo magazine that is chock full of content. It seems like we're not done yet though, since 2023 is already shaping up to be a big year for the series. We already have a few huge announcements so far that give us a bit of a roadmap for the future. So in this video I'd like to go over everything we know right now about the future of JoJo, and what we can expect JoJo to be like in 2023. First and foremost, the biggest piece of JoJo content releasing this year is the start of Part 9 of the series titled the JOJOLands. It will begin publishing monthly in Ultra Jump starting in February. This is a huge moment, since I can pretty confidently say that the majority of people watching this video were not following JoJo for the beginning of the 8th part. So when it comes to JoJo, it's hard to come up with a more historic moment than this. There's also the elephant in the room of this possibly being the final part of JoJo. In the past, Araki has said that he wanted to retire when he turns 60. Right now, he's 62, with no signs of slowing down. However, if the JoJo Lands takes as long as JOJOLian did to publish, which was about a decade, we can maybe expect the series to start reaching its conclusion with this story. We don't know any of that for sure though. As for concrete announcements relating to Part 9, we first received a glimpse of it in the form of its announcement in December, and then in Araki's 2023 New Year's card. Araki has been doing these New Year's cards for years, usually showing the series protagonist at that time alongside that year's zodiac animal. 2022 came once JOJOLian had already ended, so it simply showed a tiger to represent the Year of the Tiger. Last month we received the Year of the Rabbit card, printed with the title of the JoJo Lands and an unknown character. Then this month in Ultra Jump we finally received a full debut of the protagonist. The tagline for the part reads, "This is the story of a boy in the subtropical islands who goes on to become extremely rich." It seems like this may be confirming that the story will take place across the islands south of Japan mentioned at the end of Part 8. What it means about the character getting rich, though, is unknown. It's a really interesting sounding idea, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Araki's going to do with it. Off to the side of the image we can see what seems to be our new protagonist on a boat alongside an unknown character. I'm really interested in seeing who this could be, since one of the big highlights of JoJo has always been its strong supporting casts. In Ultra Jump, we also received an updated version of the announcement illustration, which now has some rough sketches from the first chapter in the background. These also have some small notes written on them by Araki. From left to right they are blue sky, palm trees, sound effects for pounding music, surfboard, police A, patrol car, coast, road, airport, a speech bubble saying hello, tropical islands, and volcanic lava. With just a month left to speculate, we can also try to remember the other information we've learned about Part 9 over the years. The most recent of these is that the protagonist will be a descendant of Joseph Joestar, who was included in the final chapters of Part 8. The basic outline of this story was also said to have been planned out in advance by Araki, all the way back in 2004, so we may be seeing some payoffs for things introduced years earlier. The next big announcement for 2023 is a new installment in the Thus Spoke Kishibe Rohan TV drama series. This started back in December of 2020 and has released a new season every December since. Its third season released last month with 2 more episodes, one adapting the chapter Hot Summer Martha, and the other being based on the Rock Paper Scissors Kid arc from the Part 4 manga. It was revealed recently, though, that a feature film will be releasing for the series, adapting the story Rohan at the Louvre. This story was originally created by Araki in collaboration with the Louvre Museum in Paris. It sits at 138 pages, making it by far the longest Rohan story, the second being Hot Summer Martha with 71. According to some statements, this was originally planned to be the third episode of the third season, but before production began, it was expanded into a movie. The trailer shows Rohan with his editor Izumi examining a painting, and he tells her he plans on visiting the Louvre. The narration for the trailer is done by Koki Uchiyama, the voice actor for Yoma Hashimoto in the Rohan OVAs, and Ikuro in All-Star Battle. The original manga begins in Rohan's early days of being an artist at age 17. He meets and falls in love with a mysterious woman who tells him about a painting called Under the Moon. It's made from an ancient pigment of pure darkness and is supposed to be the most evil painting in the world. The woman disappears from Rohan's life, and years later he goes to the Louvre to find the painting. So we can expect the film to adapt this basic story in some way. The movie is shot on location at the Louvre and around Paris, with one article confirming many locations that'll appear in the film. Some more information on the movie can be gleaned from the cast and crew statements that came with the announcement. Issei Takahashi, the actor who portrays Rohan, speaks about how back during the first season, he approached the director about one day adapting the story, and that now it's come true. Based on all of the statements, part of the movie was shot on location in Paris, while other parts were shot in Japan. Of course, that would be for Rohan's house and maybe some other interior sets like the basement of the museum. Marie Itoyo, who plays Rohan's editor Izumi, mentions how her character is traveling to the Louvre alongside Rohan. This is to be expected from the drama, which upgraded Izumi from a one-off character to a full-fledged lead. All of the stories it's adapted so far have had her play a larger role, so I'm excited to see how she'll fit with this one. She also mentions how the story deals with the past. Of course, that means Rohan's past, but also the power of the painting, which brings up ghosts from the past of whoever is nearby. This makes me wonder about how if Izumi is present for that, what kind of ghosts might come up for her. I actually have an idea that may turn out to be the case. The Blu-ray release of the drama's first season came with a Heaven's Door style booklet about Izumi, which gave some information about her. It also included some never-before-seen backstory for the character, which mentioned her father dying of cancer when she was 5. I think he'll most likely appear in the story when Izumi gets close to the painting. The series director Kazutaka Watanabe mentions the influence he's gotten from the 1970 Italian film The Conformist. He says the drama series has taken heavy inspiration from it for the past 3 years, and now its depiction of Paris is being used to shape how the movie will depict it as well. Lastly, the screenwriter Yasuko Kobayashi points out how unlike most of the stories, this one is focused on Rohan himself, and to look forward to the movie in the theater. The film will be releasing on May 23rd in Japanese theaters. I find it extremely unlikely that we'd be getting any kind of official American theater release, but hopefully the movie comes to Blu-ray shortly after so we'll be able to see it. This is a huge moment for the TV drama, which in my opinion has been one of the best pieces of JoJo content in recent years. It's also historic for the series itself, with this being the series' third ever movie, behind the Diamond is Unbreakable live-action movie and the 2007 Phantom Blood movie. As for the rest of 2023, we also have the continuation of Crazy Diamond's Demonic Heartbreak. If you're not already familiar with it, this is a spin-off manga set shortly before Part 4, starring Josuke and Whole Horse. It's written by Kohei Kadono, author of the Purple Haze Feedback light novel, and illustrated by Tasuku Karasuma, creator of the manga No Gun's Life. I think it's been excellent so far, and its callbacks to Parts 3 and 4 have been pretty tasteful. In particular, I really love the way it builds on Whole Horse's character in a story set 10 years after we last saw him. I've been reviewing it monthly since December of 2021, and I definitely recommend reading it. The third volume for the series will be releasing in June. I feel like the story is wrapping up, so there's a good possibility that that is the final volume, meaning there's a minimum of 4 chapters or 4 months left for the series. This means that for at least a few months, Demonic Heartbreak and the JOJOLands will both be released at the same time in the same magazine. We got a little taste of what that's like with the Rohan chapter releases from early last year, so I'm definitely excited to see how it goes now. This year we can also expect some more releases for the JoJo magazine. The Spring 2022 issue released last March, and the Winter 2022 issue came in December. I think we'll follow a pattern here and get 2 more issues this year. Each one has come with some original content, such as a new Thus Spoke Kushibe Rohan chapter by Araki, or some new short stories by other authors. We always get something good, so that does give us an idea for what we can expect. I also suspect that we'll soon be seeing some more episodes of the Thus Spoke Ushibe Rohan OVAs. After Part 4's anime ended in 2016, the first 2 OVA episodes released in 2017 and 2018. Likewise, after Part 5's anime ended in 2019, we got 2 more episodes in 2020. Now that Stone Ocean's anime has ended, I'm definitely expecting to see 2 more episodes this year as usual. We'll also be seeing 3 more DLC characters for the fighting game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, rounding out the season pass. Just recently, Stroheim was announced as the next character, returning from Eyes of Heaven. He'll be releasing sometime in late winter. The remaining 2 characters will come sometime in early and late spring. Just like with the other characters, I'll try to make some videos covering their announcements when the time comes. That's pretty much everything to expect for JoJo in 2023, but I think it's fair to assume that we'll be getting much more than that which we just haven't heard about yet. JoJo is a series that never fails to surprise. So if you're looking forward to that as much as I am, keep up with the channel and I'll try to cover as many new announcements as possible. I also hope you join me next month for the beginning of my monthly reviews of the JoJo Lands. If you want to be updated on new videos and chapters, join the Hum and Beat Discord using the link in the description. If you support the channel on Patreon, you can also receive rewards like Discord perks, uncut videos, and the opportunity to submit questions. This video's question comes from SpongeCake. He asks, what are my favorite music references in the series? Well, of course, as everyone knows, JoJo is absolutely full of music references. Because of my proximity to the series and how often I've looked into all the references, JoJo has actually had a profound effect on my music taste. So if I had to pick out just a few favorites, it would be King Crimson, Killer Queen, and Love Deluxe. Thank you for watching. This is the part of the video where I thank my $5 and up patrons. Thank you to Alex Ramirez, Doorbell, Ashton Joseph Miller, Crayon, Rigo Vids, Zucato, Sentai, Pumpkin Doge, Marrow, Almighty Quarth, Oof, Cowrie, Halil, Gatlin Grove, Lime Jinjo, 17-Hit Combo, Phantom Kai, Sponge Cake, Cakext, Feliciano Rabaja, Rayana Meme, Christian McDonough, Navi, Reed Go Beyond JoJoLands AO3, and Emmanuel Etienne.